Hey guys. So we got some Wi-Fi. It's not fast Wi-Fi. It's crappy Wi-Fi. But we got Wi-Fi. So welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. So I'm kind of giddy because I don't know how this is going to work. How is the how is the video? How is the video? Is it good, guys? Am I coming in clear? I want to make sure that when I start frothing at the mouth, going off on a rant, that you guys can really clearly see the froth. Is it clear? Okay, it's clear. All right. All right. All right. Oh God. Why did I pick this deck? So I was told to go live earlier, but I was like, look, I ain't got no more Wi-Fi. Make this shit happen, Michael. Make this shit happen. He kind of did. Kind of. Kind of. So I'm going live now. I was having a little bit of an argument within myself before. Ah! Shit. Fucking hate this card. Okay. I was having a little bit of an argument with myself before I went live. And, you know, when I said I was having an argument with myself, I was arguing with Michael. And I was like, so just tell me the title. And he goes, this bitch. He said, this bitch. I said, I'll put that shit on then. Let people know how you fucking talk to me in private. My husband don't even call me this bitch. Granted, he didn't say the B-I-T-C-H word, but that was close enough. That was close enough for me. Okay, right, Mills? I'm saying. I know. Well, no, guys. I'm hardwired into the whatever the fuck archaic system this is. Okay, let me just get the cards ready. I'm kind of missing my bougie house with my bougie Wi-Fi. Let's move to a farm, kids. In the middle of nowhere, kids. Nah, I love this house. I'm just being a little turd. Yes. All right, let me just get the cards. So really though, the energy is that of this bitch. Because every good story begins with that line. You know that. The moment one of your homies, girlfriends come up and like, this bitch, you're like, oh shit, this is going to be a good story. This is going to be a good story. What happened? The truth happened here today. All right, guys. I'm done messing around. Done aggravating Michaela over here. Mikhail. That's actually how you're supposed to pronounce his name. Mikhail. Like, I was like, are you Russian? Michael, are you Russian? In theory. In theory. All right, guys. Oh, look at all these cards flipping. Put y'all back. So the energies have been shifting today quite a bit. A lot of attempt to pull people back into patterns of toxicity, patterns that you probably thought that you had evolved from. And it's trying to pull you back. There will be people who you come across who will serve as a conscious reminder for you to not go back to that place. And really, it's up to you if you really want to allow yourself to revert, to go ahead and go back to old behavioral patterns. They'll try and trigger you. And it's up to you. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I think this probably has a lot to do with the live stream I did earlier on Facebook, which deleted. I ain't even gonna lie, I deleted that shit. As soon as the live was done, it was taken down. But what I was talking about that is what I was talking about in that live stream is that someone was trying to argue with me on my personal profile. And the moment that I saw this person's not interested in having an actual communication, a sharing of thoughts, they're only interested in showing me how stupid I am for not believing the same thing as they believe. I went and blocked them. Like, fuck that. I ain't got time for you, fucking peasant. That's peasant ass behavior. You really think you could do that? I don't think so. Not in this kingdom, boo boo. So, card number 8, choices. Okay. You have choices to make. If you're going to choose to continue to be the old version of you that's really steeped, immersed, marinated in toxicity, that's your choice. That's your choice. If you've made growth, tremendous growth, and you recognize who you were before you decided to grow, and you get triggered, taking you back to who you were. I mean, you know the path to get back to where you are right now. You don't have to stay there. Just because you get triggered doesn't mean you have to stay in that moment of triggering. You can acknowledge, all right, this motherfucker, and then go back. And see, here's the thing. Not only, ooh, that's a big ass ear. This hat's not big enough. Wow, that was distracting as fuck, dude. That was a big ass ear. So going back to that, what ended up happening was they tried to initiate an argument with me. And yeah, I was trying to be like this condescending, I'm more intelligent. Well, you go ahead and believe that if you want. Truly intelligent people understand they can learn something from everybody. Okay, from everybody. So I was like, I'm done with that, blocked him. And he goes and he goes and tries to connect with someone who was also commenting on that post. They're not even friends. They have no connection. So they had to wait for the approval to receive the message. And it was this like, Emmie's a coward. Yeah, believe whatever you want. I don't care. You're not going to bait me back to a place where I know I exist in a very toxic way. I know how to fight. I know how to make people feel stupid. Does that grow me? No, it doesn't. So why would I want to go back there? Well, because someone triggered me. So I'm giving you my power. I'm giving you the authority to tell me where I should exist within my journey. I don't think so. So again, choices, okay? You have to make a choice. If you're going to choose to take the bait and allow yourself to be told that you need to be pissed off right now, you need to spend your time interacting with me, that you don't have permission to walk away from this tape. Because that's when someone tells you that you can't block them, what they're saying to you, let me translate that. I'm the king here. You need my permission to walk away from this tape. Sit down and keep listening until I'm done. That's what they're telling you. And I'm like, no, bitch. No, bitch. No. I'm out. I'm out. You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me how to feel. As a matter of fact, I think this is kind of funny that you really had to go message someone else. So if I allowed myself to be baited into like, oh, let me go ahead and make another post. Let me unblock them so we could go at it. No, I just gave my power away. I allowed my ego to become the priority. And when two egos are going at it, that's a cockfight. No, I'm not interested in cockfights. I just really am not. I'm not. So you have to, card number 26, be true to your heart. If you had already made that transition into a higher plane of consciousness, be true to that. Now, this doesn't mean that you're always going to be like, oh, namaste, you're mad. Let me just turn the other cheek. Let me, I need to have more compassion for you because you don't know any better. I'll tell you this before I blocked him. This is what pissed him off because he had said something along the line because he was pissed off that I refused to wear a mask in public. I'm not sick. Okay. I don't need to wear a mask. I'm not sick. I have medical conditions that exempt me from that bullshit. So, He commented something about keep my mouth fluids or something to myself. Something about bodily fluids. And so I told him he could go ahead and suck my dick fluids. And then I blocked him. Like, you want to be stupid? I'll be stupid with you, but then I'm going to block you because I'm not going to stay there with you. So be true to your heart. It's not about just, pretending everything's okay and that you're so elevated and evolved that you have no emotions towards it and you can't say anything and just be like, peace be with you. No, I told him to suck my dick fluids. I don't even have a physical dick. And I posted that, I commented it, and I cracked up and I blocked him. Thank you for the laugh. We're done. Nourishment, card number 7. If laughter nourishes you, let yourself laugh. Life is not so serious that you have to deplete your energy by not allowing laughter. Okay? Be that bitch. Be that bitch that can just laugh off the bullshit. It's really beneath you. Literally. It's beneath your consciousness. That type of petty behavior, you can visit there once in a while if you feel like you need to, but you're above that at this point. Most of the people who join me in this space when I do readings, you guys have evolved past that. I hope you understand that. I see the most beautiful comments time after time after time where you recognize your growth. You acknowledge this tremendous, tremendous amount of progress that you've made. So, hey, just because you've had progress doesn't mean once in a while, a little bit of that salt comes back up and you let people know, okay? You don't got to let everybody know. You don't. Save some of that salt. You might need it to pickle something later, okay? So, card number 13, power of attraction. Usually this card means shit that I don't want to talk about, but right now what it means is sometimes when you have mastered certain lessons, it will be brought back to you. Like today, I have been working very hard for some time now to give myself permission to not show up for every single fight that I'm invited to. And there was a moment where I was like, bruh, can I repost this? Because I was going to go at it. And then I was like, yeah, I don't have time. I got to go somewhere. I got to go run errands. And then I got to figure some stuff out. And then I don't got time. And so sometimes when you attract these types of things to you, it's because you have mastered the lesson. And now your soul is basically testing you to see how you apply the knowledge that you acquired going through the previous circumstance. There's nothing wrong with that. Your soul has to know that you are ready to move on to the next chapter, to the next part. Okay? And that's all it is. It's not that you're being tested because your soul thinks you're a failure and, all the negative stuff. It's not that at all. It's not that your soul doesn't trust you. It's that your soul wants you to experience firsthand. You are being triggered with the same thing, yet you are reacting, responding differently. Even if it's a small difference, different is different. Different means growth. And allow yourself to celebrate that growth once in a while. Okay? Let's see. Card number 3, Mercury, mind. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you. They try. This card suggests you put effort behind your talk. So if you're talking about you want to grow yourself, you want to really evolve, you want to, this and that, and put effort behind it. Okay? You want to get to the next level of consciousness, put the work into it. And it's not that you're not putting the work into it. It's that now you have to consciously choose to really push through. If you're finding you're hitting hurdles, any type of little setbacks, you're having some mini meltdowns and you've been working so hard on not having any meltdowns anymore. They're mini meltdowns, okay? That's like the equivalent of you freaking out about burning your dinner as though you've burned the whole house down. They're two different things. Yes, they involve burning. Yes, they involve some level of destruction, but they're two different things. They're vastly different. Okay. So this is a planet of gaslighting, causing purposeful confusion in the minds of others to gain something not really deserved. It's a time to use all of your mental faculties to get your point across. It might mark a period where you either, you have to talk your way out of something or talk your way into something. Beware of gossip and other scandals. Let them gossip about you on their own. Okay? People who constantly gossip about you, they're fucking fans. They're your fan club. You know, don't hate on your fan club. They just believe in you so much that it fucking irritates their demons, that you've ascended beyond the reach of that level of demonic shit. That's what I'm seeing. That's how I see this. Like, you just mad because not the person, the demons. Their demons is mad because you're not accessible, untouchable. The important thing to remember is that what you say in this situation can and will be used against you. You can expect to see fast developments. It can mean that friendship is the best option for you now in regards to romance. This is also the card of brothers and sisters as well as twins. It's a time of flighty emotions and matters developing quickly. So this is also about a surprise, good or bad, something that's really going to just surprise you. Okay. So for those people who still struggle with control, issues with control, totally not calling you out to single you out, giving you a little bit of a life hack. I forgot the life hack. Shit. What did I say? So this is a surprise. And if you have issues with control, now is not the time to beat yourself up if you're not able to control your environment. Now might be the time for you to allow some of the destruction, the internal destruction that comes along with a feeling of lack of control. Now's a good time to allow that destruction to clear away the belief structures that have imprisoned you in that need to control. Now's a really good time for that to happen. Okay, it's not going to be a comfortable thing. It's definitely going to challenge you. It's going to make you feel a little bit powerless. That shouldn't last for too long, though. Okay, if you allow yourself to truly submit to what your soul is teaching you, that process shouldn't last too long. It's just a matter of how stubborn you are. Many of us are stubborn. It's fine. Card number 43, come to life. So many of us are existing in the gray zone. That's the area between the light and the dark, the area where light and shadow play, where they flirt with each other and create beautiful gradients. Okay. This is where we're existing. Now, for some of us, it's like it's either right or it's wrong. It's all one thing or all the other. There's no middle ground here. Okay, you're either on my side or you're against me. Well, if you're gonna tell me what to do, then I'm fucking against you. That's a no-brainer. If you're gonna try and dominate me like that, I'm against you. We are enemies. Nah, I don't have any enemies. But I'm not with you. I don't give a shit if you're mad. I'm not with you because I'm choosing to exist in color. I'm choosing to allow myself to explore all the different shades of my life, things that will be a prospect. And that's kind of where we need to get to at this point. Okay. It's very much about how the space in between that concept of right and wrong is where the growth occurs. Okay. That's fucked up to say. When you've been warned and still don't get the message, well, you get what you deserve. That's a pretty fucked up thing to say to people. Because it carries with it the implication that you're celebrating their demise. And if you are, what's that make you? That's a question, not an assertion. So here it is. We're getting messages from our soul that is being translated by something with a forked tongue. And we're being convinced by our monkey mind to try and paint a sticky, sweet picture of our life. Is your life really that sweet? Is it like, what is it? Or are you going to recognize this as a call for you to come to life, for you to stop with this type of bullshit and really just allow yourself to live in all the different shades, all the colors, whether it's vibrant or muted, pastels, whatever it is. Just really embrace your journey at this point. Card number 44, attraction. Again, there we go. We're attracting to us the very things that we need to grow. Okay. Power of attraction. Ooh. Card number 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. Card number 44, this is an elevation. 4 being raised up on itself. Attraction. So for some of us, this attracting thing that's going on, it's like we think that someone else is going to be delivering us from the very things we need to learn on our own. And that's fine until you graduate from that infantile type of consciousness. And I don't say that in a derogatory way. It's an infantile type of consciousness. It's a very basic understanding of spiritual things, okay? Until you graduate from that, you'll think that it's someone else. You're one half of something. In reality, you're a totality, okay? Once you get to this level, you will understand everything outside of you mirrors what's inside of you. 4 and 4 equals standing together side by side. And then you have a big ass moon, the moon representing the aspects of yourself that you keep so hidden from other people. Hidden why? Because you were taught that those aspects of yourself are to be shameful, that you should be guilty. Why? Could you really be that horrible? Are you really that horrible of a person? I doubt it. I doubt it. I think people who are considered horrible by others, there's a very high likelihood that the things that have happened in your life previously have very much affected your ability to process and cope. And when that type of thing happens, you stay in a very, very childish mindset. And it's not an excuse, it's to help people understand why they potentially behave the way they do, and to understand why others might be behaving the way they behave. Okay. I don't know if maybe it's just because I'm the kind of mother that I am. I don't believe it's right to punish a child having a tantrum when they've lost control. That is their way of asking for help without knowing the words to communicate that need. Now, am I going to coddle a child having a tantrum? No. I'm going to verbalize, hey, you have lost control. Do you need help calming down? If you need help calming down, you need to communicate that to me. You have to stop yelling because it's going to then affect me, and I might mirror that. And it's not going to be pretty if we're both yelling. And sometimes you have to break it down to that point where the things other people are experiencing, it's typically not about you. It's typically not about you. Even if it involves you, typically what's happening is you're triggering them to return to a place probably in their childhood that's causing them to wild out. Because going back there, they didn't have the means to cope, the means to process. This is not an excuse. When someone hurts you, I don't care if this is the reason why. It's still wrong. It's still not okay. But it helps you to not take it personal and feel so destroyed inside when you understand this is not really about me. It's still fucked up. I'm still not going to trust you, but I don't need to be like, you're fucked up and you did this to me on purpose. No, it's still fucked up though. It's still, no matter how you cut it, it's fucked up pie. So card number 50, Saturn return. Ooh, there he is holding his nipples. Scared of being exposed. What's this card about? So Saturn's like the Lord of Karma or something. Let's see. All right. Saturn return. H. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. And that's true. That's true. There are people who haven't consciously chosen to make the changes within themselves so that they can further expand and rise in dimensional consciousness. And they live their entire life being stagnant, usually being unhappy, usually thinking it's everyone else. What's up?
Just wanted to check on
So Saturn as a lord of karma shatters all illusions. With this card drawn, it will feel as if nothing goes right for you and you may feel very discouraged. Just as it seems things are progressing, there are obstacles. What this truly is Saturn showing you a part of your life that may not have been based upon anything real. It may have outlived its purpose, or perhaps you've misjudged a situation thinking better than it was. So yeah, this is about really doing a lot of introspection. Don't be that bitch. Don't be that person that chooses not to see how they contribute to any kind of toxicity. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people like that who are so afraid of taking accountability for how they created the ugly circumstance. It's everyone else, right? It's everyone else. Nah, sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I don't say anything because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And then someone comes along and says or does something that gives me the opportunity to finally lash out. Because in that moment, I'm choosing to see, to perceive that interaction with that other individual through a filter of irritation, a filter that lacks compassion, patience, and a desire to understand. And that's oftentimes what happens, not just with me, but with people, where you know it's not okay to lash out at people and you don't really have a good reason to lash out yet, but you're already pissed off and frustrated inside yourself. And when someone finally gives you an excuse, fuck yeah, game on. Don't think I don't know. I do that sometimes. Card number 1, awaken. It's time for you to recognize you are already awake. You are already awake. You are just afraid of admitting it. For the people who, it's like, oh, you know, we need to wake up. Everyone's awake. You can't wake up someone who's pretending to be asleep. We're all simply in varying degrees of waking, but we're all awake. All of us know the situations that need to be corrected in life, globally speaking. All of us know the positives and the negatives. All of us know that we should be all looking out for each other. But do all of us allow ourselves to accept these truths as our truth? Nope. Nope. Does that mean you don't know what the options are? No, it means you've ignored the other options and you've chosen to commit yourself to a very specific thing. And usually what you commit yourself to is something that benefits you personally. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a very childish, very low level of consciousness. And again, I don't say that in a derogatory way. This is a way to explain why and how you should rise in dimensional consciousness, so you can better understand why you have these conflicting feelings, why you want to act one way, but your heart tells you no. Because your heart has its own intelligence. It really does. It really, really does. But sometimes we allow the monkey mind, when I say sometimes, most of the time, we allow the monkey mind to interpret what the heart is trying to tell us. So card number 14, assurance. You're going to be going through all these different seasons of your life very quickly. For those that this is resonating with, you're going to be going through all the different seasons of your life very, very quickly. And just know you are rooted. You are firmly rooted in the soil of your truth. Allow whatever needs to happen to help you process your growth. Allow that to happen. Okay? I'm not saying allow people to abuse you. I'm not saying allow people to cheat you. Allow people to treat you like you're worth less than what you actually are. I'm saying stop avoiding the process of learning. Okay? We can't control other people. Some people have malicious intent. You can't control that. If you know they have malicious intent, then you need to cut them off. But when you go ahead and try and convince yourself that your intuition is wrong and that you're being mean and you continue to interact, if they do malicious things to you, you allowed it. That's giving passive permission. Okay? So am I trying to shame you? No, I'm trying to help you to realize you were already being given guidance internally on how to avoid something ugly, but you didn't listen. You learned firsthand causation and effect. You chose a cause that led to that effect. Do you need to feel bad or ashamed? No, you need to recognize next time that happens, choose to listen to your soul. I'm not saying listen to me. I'm not saying listen to someone else. I'm saying listen to the guidance your soul is giving you. Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. Many of us, many of us are experiencing a rebirthing that's going on right now. Okay. You have to make sure you keep your space very sacred. You have to create a sanctuary within yourself where you can feel safe to be naked in your truth. Not all of us are in circles, social circles that support our growth. Many of us will probably relate to this when I say many of us we're surrounded by people who we have to hide this from. I don't want anyone to know that I watch tarot or oracle card readings. I don't want anyone to know that I'm exploring alternative forms of spirituality, spiritual practice, because what if they say that I'm communing with demons? They're going to say that anyways. Screw them. Card number 29, hunger. You're hungry for reconnection. You're not necessarily hungry for attention. You're hungry for a reconnection of a very deep, deep kind. This is a soul connection. This is you calling for your soul tribe to come back, to once again surround you in this life so that you can walk forward in your spiritual journey with a little more ease, a little more grace. And, you know, if you're so focused on, well, what will these people think if they find out? They're going to think that I'm doing black magic, and they're going to think that I'm a witch and all of this. You're holding on to the very people that are occupying the space that your soul family is trying to come into. We're so afraid of letting go the things that anchor us into an old way of being that we fail to see. Those anchors keep us from sailing towards our actual soul family. And I'm not saying disown your biological family and all your friends right now. I'm saying allow the natural progression to occur. People will show you who they are. They will show you whether or not they are willing to take this trip with you to higher levels of consciousness. And if they're not, it's kind of like human trafficking if you try and force them to, right? Consciousness trafficking. That's what a lot of people are trying to do right now. Consciousness trafficking. Like, you have to believe what I believe. Oh my God, you don't know about this yet? Oh my God, you don't meditate yet? Oh my God, you don't blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, you only do that? You like, be quiet. If you're going to rise, rise. Do so without fucking shaming people. Just rise. No one wants to hear you squawking. That was harsh. That was harsh, but it's the fucking truth. If you're going to rise, just rise. If you're squawking so much to show people that you're rising, you're not rising. You're trying to create an illusion of a rise. It's like when those magicians, they go ahead and do those like TV specials, or they're doing all these magic tricks. I remember one, I forget his name, but he was trying to show that he can kind of levitate in public. Turns out he was just stepping on his tippy toe and raising the other foot. You're not really rising. You're just putting on a show. Ain't nobody buying a ticket to your show. Why don't you focus on your rise? Instead of squawking so much and fucking up other people's process, why don't you just focus on your rise? Real talk. Don't be that bitch. Card number 6, Saturn, truth. We speak in real truths right now. We speak in all sorts of truth right now. We 3 of Swords. Restrictions, penalties, Saturn experiences, disappointment, and growth. There we go. Card number 6, Saturn, truth. As she has planted, so does she harvest. Such is the field of karma. The Saturn card says that it may feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Saturn also deals with power and control, often meaning law. Ooh, no, we're not reading that. Maybe on Facebook, not on YouTube. The gift of Saturn is keeping you on your path, helping you face parts of your life you may dread, but you simply must fulfill. They are your contracts toward more solid achievements and a better life. Circumstances may be harsh for a while, but believe your sacrifices to be worth it. It is a good time to be diligent and not rush anything. Whatever you're asking about is likely to take considerable time and not come about too quickly. All right. So your growth is a process. It's not a dash, okay? You're not just going to be running to some finish line. This is a process. You have to go through the different cycles that help to trigger different aspects of your perception. This is how you shift. This is how you shift. You're doing it degree by degree. You're not trying to become someone else. You're trying to create space for you to shift and evolve. That's what you're doing, okay? This is not a race. This is not a competition. This is not a process that you wear on your sleeve as a badge of honor. It doesn't give you more clout. And Michael said, don't say that. I'm not going to say that then. Card number 9, communication. Your soul tribe is trying to communicate. All right. You're trying to hear something that's not heard with the ears. You're trying to see something that's not seen with physical eyes. You are hungry for a connection that oftentimes on human terms, it's not tangible. It's just something that I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know what words to use. It's one thing, but it's not. And it's another, but it's not. But it's both, but it's not. So it's really something that you have to allow yourself to experience, okay? You can't travel this path because I can tell there's someone. I'm going to look for my soul family. I'm going to look for my soul tribe. That's what I need to do. That's what I... Do you look for your best friend? Or do you allow yourself to be present as you experience a ripening bond with another person? And after that bond is established, then you realize, oh my God, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. But it took a while. It was a process. It was something that needed to be created. Something that maybe there was a draw, an initial draw, an attraction. There was some sort of common ground. And things were built from that. People talk about falling in love. You want to fall in love? That's why that shit hurts. If you're going to trip yourself in order to fall, that fucking hurts. Try throwing yourself on the concrete. That shit hurts. I didn't fall in love. I met a person that there was some kind of draw. I don't know what it is. And as we grew together, we grew in love. That's very hard to, it's very hard to tear something down that you grow together. You know, where it's not one person dragging the other. It's a mutual intertwining of growth. When one is tired, the other will hold. And when the other is tired, they switch places. But no matter what, they keep climbing and working together. That's what you are searching for, that type of connection and love. And it's not just romantic. You're looking for this in friendship as well, but you don't want to put in the work. How's that going to happen? You think you can just give someone some spiritual currency to build this for you. Not going to work. This is something you have to build on your own. You have to build this with someone else, and you have to invest in yourself and build yourself up. And part of the reason that people struggle so much is that they're waiting for other people to build them up, to recognize the work that they're doing, to recognize the progress that they're making. And people have to say nice things, have some sort of acknowledgement ceremony of some kind, like, you're doing a good job. I never got that. I never got that growing up. And some people would say that, like, wow, that's a pretty fucked up childhood. No, it was everything I needed. Absolutely everything I needed. I wouldn't change anything about my childhood. It's not a movie type of childhood. It's a real childhood. Well, I didn't have that. I didn't have people to, like, okay, let's work on your homework now. It's like, you better get your homework fucking done because parents are at work. You better figure that shit out. It's due in the morning. And I'm so thankful that that's how I grew up, because I don't need external validation. I don't. I never got it. And so I had to validate myself. And that's what makes me so difficult to tear down, because I don't need something outside of myself. I'm absolutely content being within myself. I can go for days without talking. You wouldn't believe that shit. I could go for days without talking. I'm not even pissed. It's just beautiful, the silence. I love it. If you are so afraid to find out who you are, and I think this is probably why most people don't want to be alone, because you have to actually face yourself. There's no distractions. Me being alone most of the time, like earlier in life, I had to face my own shit. Like, fuck, they fucking did that. I should have picked better. Damn, now I got to clean that up. No one else bailed me out of it. No one else bailed me out of it. So card number 3 is celebrate differences. We're all different. Just because I had that type of preparation in my childhood doesn't make me any kind of superior or whatever. Doesn't make me more better than anyone else. It just helps me to better understand, because guess what? A part of my soul purpose is to experience things in advance of others, process it, learn from it, and then share. Okay? So again, we're in this together. A teacher is useless if there's no students. Does that mean the teacher's better because they're... No, you have no purpose without people listening. So they are equally important in that classroom. That classroom is not a classroom unless you have people listening to what the teacher is teaching. So all of us are each other's teachers. All of us are students of life. You will learn things based off of your life experience that I've never experienced before. And as you share your truth with me, it helps me to better understand my truths that I'm experiencing now. And that's why it's so important for us to not be that bitch who thinks they know everything already. They've already ascended. They know everything. Well, I got my information from the CDC. Where the fuck they get their information from? You think it's true? Let's not go there with this. Let's not go there with this. Let's go ahead and get you guys a couple more cards, and then we're going to call this a day. I'm going to call this a day. That's beautiful, Mary. I've been alone most of my life. I am my best friend. Yeah. I sometimes alternate between being my best friend, biggest cheerleader, to my worst enemy. And that is me swinging on my wrecking ball. All right, guys. All right. Fuckery afoot. No, I'm kidding. Mature and responsible person, reliable, patient, persistent. Ability to conclude a task, laborious, organized. This is you. Beneath all of the bullshit that you believed from other people, beneath all of those external inorganic opinions of yourself that you got from other people, this is you. There's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as mistake. Every misstep, takes you to a different aspect of yourself, a different part that needs a little bit more of your observation and attention. This is you. You have everything that you need in order for you to succeed at the task. What is the task? Just being. Ain't that some shit? That's your purpose, to just be in this life and exist as yourself, allowing yourself to be fully present with every experience, because every experience is another step in your consciousness expansion. So we're being sold all of this bullshit about how we're broken and we're not enough, and we need people who are specialized in whatever part of us that's broken in order to fix it. They don't know shit about you. They don't know shit about you. None of them. They only know what you allow them to know. They only know the parts of you that you allow them to know. They're not there for every single experience you've ever had. They don't know how you process these experiences, what effects these experiences will have. They theorize based on what they're taught, indoctrinated with. They theorize that you're this, this, or this, and then this, or this is the potentially proper way to address it. Might work for some people, for people who are willing and ready and able to call themselves out on their shit. But for many of us, we're not willing, ready, or able. Most of us, we won't be fully honest because we're ashamed. So how are they supposed to be an expert in your life to help you fix all your broken parts? Are you even broken? Or are you a kaleidoscope? Every time you get shook and turned, it's a new picture that's created, something just as beautiful as previous and just as beautiful as whatever comes next. Maybe the problem is in us thinking that the pieces of us that make up the kaleidoscope that we are nothing but broken glass that needs to be cleaned up and thrown away. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem, that we've allowed ourselves to be convinced by other people to look for some sort of pathology, some sort of disease within us. Nope. Don't give in to that shit. We have Two of Cups in reverse, unsatisfactory love, false friendship, troubled relationship, divorce, separation, crossed desires, misunderstanding. Woo! This can apply on so many different levels. So many different levels. So many different levels of your internal existence. You're not a singular thing. You're not a one-cell amoeba. You are a dynamic energy with so many complex other parts, systems that work with other systems, and together they make the whole. You're so much more than what you think. You've completely misunderstood yourself. You have been having a false friendship with yourself. You have been trying to separate and divorce your light and your dark. And the love you give yourself is unsatisfactory. Ain't that some shit? That's a truth bomb right there. I'd say shots are fired. Make it a 50 cal. All right. Page of Pentacles. Failure to recognize obvious facts. Man, your higher selves are talking shit to you. I hear this kind of things all day. Shut up, Michael. I hear these things all day. This ain't nothing new. I'm well aware of my avoidance. Failure to recognize obvious facts, dissipation of ideas, illogical thinking, rebelliousness, wastefulness. He made it a 50 cal. That shot, damn, he shot you with a 50 cal. Let us see. But it's true though, and you know it. It's true though. You know that you've been failing yourself. You haven't allowed yourself to recognize your greatness. You haven't allowed yourself to love on yourself the way you so willingly love on the people who don't even appreciate it. And it's not that you have to people have to appreciate you in order for them to be worthy of your love. It's like you have to recognize if you're able and willing to love people who don't appreciate that love, why the fuck can you not do that for yourself? I'm talking to you, Emmie. I'm not. I'm not talking to you, Emmie. Thank you for the giggles. Anyways, 4 of Wands. Romance, society, harmony, newly acquired prosperity, tranquility, the fruits of labor, rest after strife. So your soul is letting you know, hey, there's going to be a process. It's probably going to tear you a new asshole, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, because that second bungholio is going to help you to purge more of that BS that you are so overflowing with. It's time for us to let go of all of these programs that have been trying to convince us all sorts of bullshit about ourselves. It really is. It really, really is. I don't think any of us are horrible people. There is no child that is born that is horrible, intrinsically horrible, evil, bad. That's learned. That's learned. If you're going to tell me, well, there are children that are born. No, those children are brain damaged. If you're talking about the kind of behavioral problems that I hear someone thinking it, those children are brain damaged. Like, legit. I'm talking about physiological damage to the brain during birth. And it affected the way their brain processes stimulation. It affects the way they interact with other people. That's a physiological issue. Okay? So that's not the same as what I'm talking about right now. None of us are unworthy of love. You don't have to have mastered love. You don't have to have mastered self-love. You don't have to have healed all of your wounds or ascended to, I don't know, whatever fucking level you're trying to ascend to in order for you to be worthy of love. Because you exist, by virtue of your existence, you deserve love. And love is not just, coddling you. Love is not just speaking to you in soft whispers. No. You deserve to be loved in your totality. Meaning, when you're out of control, you deserve the kind of love that says, hey, you're fucking out of control. You kind of need to take a look at what you're doing. What is the point of all of this? Because if you don't even know who or why you're fighting, why are you fighting? Because many of us don't even realize what we're fighting. It's not someone else. We're fighting ourselves. We're fighting the reflection of ourselves that someone else is mirroring because we don't want to address what's actually going on within us. And I've had this lesson loop around quite a few times. This is a very, very legitimate thing that happens to so many people. And it's not going to stop. It's going to keep looping until you decide to learn your lesson. Until you decide to give in to your soul, not to someone else, not to me, but to your soul, okay? Let's get you guys a final card. And then I'm sweaty. I don't understand why I have to sweat. I never used to sweat before. I don't understand it. It's just not right. You never had me sweat as a teenager, as a child. Why make me sweat now? It's just not right. That's like, I never had zits as a child. You're going to give me acne now? That's fucked up shit. Okay. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, get ready to fall. Get ready to fall, okay? The Divine Mother's love. If we don't trust our divine connection, we can feel like a lost child, uncertain, insecure, and afraid. Yet when that child knows that the mother is always there, waiting, naturally stepping in when needed, but otherwise trusting in the child's ability to live his own life, then getting lost for a time is just part of the adventure. It's not frightening, it's freeing. And maybe what you have to get lost from is this matrix of oppression that you have committed yourself to exist within. Maybe it's time for us to lose that GPS. We know the way. We don't need to be told the way by something artificial. We know the way. We do. We know the way. Our feet have traveled this path for so many eons. We know the way. We are the ones that created this path. Because we've traveled this, we've walked this way so many times, we created the path. Each one of us creating our own path. You know the way. Stop trying to convince yourself that you don't. Stop trying to convince yourself that someone else knows more than you. And stop lying to yourself about what you actually know. Sometimes you have to actually be honest with yourself. Okay? So, you guys, I hope whatever this reading was, I hope it gives whoever needed it the clarity that they need. Okay? I'm not here to tear you down. I'm not here to make you feel badly about yourself. I'm here to call you out so you understand. If you could decide that fucked up shit for yourself, you can do the inverse. You can decide to choose something so ridiculously beautiful for you. You have the power to do this, to decide this, to manifest it. You have the power to do that. But if you're going to continue to lie to yourself about this is someone else's fault, I don't have any control, then none of that, none of the good things that you want is going to come to you. None of it. None of it. Because all you're calling to you, remember, all you're calling to you is that unresolved toxicity. That's it. Unresolved toxicity. And that's not going to be someone else's fault. Okay? And no one else has to deal with it but you. So choose something beautiful. Choose something that creates a sense of peace and happiness within yourself, that you don't need a vacation from your life. You don't need to have a vacation from your life. You need to create that beautiful, peaceful happiness that you feel when you try and escape your reality. That escape should be your reality. That's what you should have for your life. Notice I don't take vacations. I don't have a perfect life. I have a real one that I enjoy, that I fucking love so much. I wouldn't give it up for anything in this world. I have a real life with real problems that I don't need a vacation from. When was the last time I took a vacation? I don't know. I don't know. I don't need one. I love my life in all its complexity and bullshit and all kind of stuff. I don't need a break from it because I've been able to create a centeredness, a peacefulness within myself. So make that for yourself, okay? Make that for yourself. So bye, guys. If thumbs up before you go, thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I got internet. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.